Now we're going to look at how to graph a hyperbola. This time we're doing it centered at the origin. It's the simplest kind that you can do. The only difference between this and it not being centered at the origin is that HK will be 0, 0 when you center it at the origin. So we're going to graph the equation, identify the center, vertices, and foci of the hyperbola. Now the first thing that you'll notice is that the x squared is the positive term and the y squared is the negative term. This means that we're going to open left and right. Okay? Now, our HK is 0, 0. There's no H there and there's no K there. There's nothing adding or subtracting with the X or the Y inside of those, inside the square. So HK is 0, 0. Just like that. Now, since the X is the positive term, the vertices will be A units left and right from the center. Now that 25 is actually A squared. So A by itself is going to be 5. So you're going to go 5 units left and 5 units right. And that's our green dots right there. That's going to be our vertices. That's going to be the point at which our hyperbola goes through. And it goes like that. So because the x term is positive, the foci will be C units left and right, where C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. So C is going to be equal to the square root of A squared plus B squared, which is 25 and 4. For the purpose of graphing, we're going to go ahead and get get it to one decimal place, just because we don't want to leave it as a radical when we're trying to graph. So we're going left and right from 0, so we're going left 5.4 and right 5.4. So that gives us those points right there. Now we have to draw a box, and this box is A units left and right and B units up and down, and this box will give us our asymptote. So we already have the A units left and right. Those are those green dots, the vertices. Now we're going to go B units, which 4 is B squared, so B is 2. We're going to go B units up and down. Now, I don't know if you can see the box yet, but let's go ahead and draw it in with a dashed line. So if you look at the point 2, 0, we're going to go all the way around like that, with the sides of the box being the points at the end of the conjugate axis and the transverse axis. If you watched our last video, the conjugate axis is the shorter side of the box, and the transverse axis is the line between the two vertices. Now, the reason we draw this box is actually to draw our asymptotes through the corners. So you're going to draw a big X in the middle of your graph that goes through the corners of the box. Now that we have that, our graph will go through the vertex and along those asymptote lines. Just like that. And there you have it. We've graphed the equation. We've identified the center, the vertices, and the foci. Now this is an example of a horizontal hyperbola. Let's do another example, which will be of a vertical hyperbola. Now I know this one is vertical because it starts off with y squared. So our center, just like the last one, is going to be 0, 0. There it is. Our vertices are going to be up and down this time. So since the y is the positive term, the vertices will be A units up and down from the center. So we're going up 2 and down 2. And there we have it in green. Now, because the y term is positive, the foci will be C units up and down, where C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. So C is going to be the square root of 4 plus 9, which is root 13, but we're gonna get it to 1 decimal place so it's easier to graph. So we're actually gonna go up and down 3.6. There they are in purple. Now again, we're gonna make the same box we did in the last question. From the center, we're going to draw a box A units up and down and B units left and right. The only difference now is what's going up and down and what's going left and right. Now, although we denote it by A and B, I like to think of it as the number under the Y and the number under the X. The number under the Y is going to tell you how much to go up and down, and the number under the X will tell you how far to go left and right. Anyway, we're going left and right 3, and then we draw our box, and we draw our asymptotes, and this time we know we're opening up and down through those vertices, so we draw our hyperbola that way. That's it.